Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the Cars tractor tip. It's like coloring. It's like for Country Star 17 right here. As you see right here, is that I went ahead and add in the details right here. As you see for Speed Runner, along with the two characters, we got Lightning McQueen, and then of course it's like with the others, and then with the other cars characters, and then along right here is I went ahead and added a detail right here. It's like for the mountainy down here type cloud area it is. And then of course with Cars tractor tip is talking about with the Country Stars is talking about is like a number of stars, in which most of us will probably think about if we would go to the store and buy the supplies that we need to do our artwork. It is our colorings. Maybe if you were to be working on, you say Microsoft Paint, it is that knowing about the Microsoft Paint, or maybe any type of art that networking it is. But other than that, is talking about is that the talents is like knowing that we have is that the details that you can maybe put into say an artwork right there. It's like knowing about it's like how to draw a star. Of course, I had not always been the perfect spell it is knowing about is like that each time I think of a title is knowing about is like really look it up in a dictionary, maybe you'll be able to find out, huh? But other than that is knowing about that I have not always been the perfect speller, of course, but knowing about name suggestions or whatever it is. But so far as software is Caloberry, and type any type of berries. Knowing about with Speedrunner is knowing about it's like knowing it's like if he could be what you call mowing the lawn, it's like in the fields or anything. But talk about with what Country Star is talking about is if most of us would think about if you were to get have some ideas draw out these characters along with to start out with you say an extra piece of paper right here is like a guy right here is that you say the not tracing, but these are like what you call from the reverse side of say from the paper from this from what I started right here. And of course on this side right here is I'm going to go ahead and include right here is like what you call details to say is that if we all ever thought about it's like with the so far is with Country Star is talk about maybe if you were to be working on something is knowing about if you want to sing a song it's like and there's a color everywhere, and no matter what you see the details give you a right, and then there's a color for the everywhere. But other than that you would be able to sing a song. It's like if you were to think about singing a song while you were you say you're thinking of it, you imagine in your mind about about what you would be able to see is if you have a mountain, the mountain right here, and then go ahead and switch to the blue, and it's like if it did for there's a color running everywhere for each direction. I've turn left and right, and then there's a color for the everywhere. And me, I know is that I can put all the details, all all for the right, and now me. But other than that, if I know me, that really that it's like for what I'm doing is right here is that I would be thinking about it's like what I would think that what a mountain would look like, and then of course knowing about it's like with the mountain right here. This could be what you call a mountain that will be covered in what you call acres or so of land. And of course it could be it's like so far as the type of a landscaping that you would normally see maybe out there in the Nebraska mountains or anything like that, any type of mountains. But further on I go ahead and put some details to say maybe it's like the sky view. But if there's a color mounted everywhere, you turn left and right, what's right. It's like what's right. It's like if it is right or if it is wrong, and knowing it's like what you got your mind set for is knowing about that. It's like if there's a color for the everywhere. But you have right here, it's like the mountains right here, and let's just say that at the track, the race track that you would imagine that say Lightning McQueen will be racing on right here. Of course, is And then it is a color for the everywhere. But anyway, knowing about me, I have not always been a perfect singer either. But knowing about is knowing about if you were to sing while you were coloring, is knowing about that that you got the track right here, and then knowing about that see your track, and then of course is the track would join right here. And that's what it is, the color money everywhere. And then right here, go ahead and add a little bit of detail right here for the track. It'll be coming around, and then so you add that the track right here. And then there is a color for the everywhere. And then a song could go by is like there's a color for you. On the left, there's a color for you. On the right, or there's a color for you everywhere. And we know what's right, and then know, and everything alright, and then know. It's like we put your mind to it, and then that it's like it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can always think about it. It's like knowing about. It's like how many sides does we say of a star it is if you were to actually draw a star. It's knowing about that. You go ahead and color in right here the details right here, say of the track, and then there's a color for it everywhere. You know what the details are. Yeah, you know what the details are, or if you don't know what the details are, just imagine what you do if there's a color spotted everywhere. Other than that, you got right here is the detail right here. Is go ahead and put like a little bit of blue right here. It's like knowing about it's like top of the mountains right here. It's like if there's a color spotted everywhere. And then along right here is like the details right here. Go ahead and put for the sky. And there's a color spotted everywhere. Anyway, the idea is, of course, for what you want to do so far as the art designs go, and then of course with Lightning McQueen, it is. Go ahead and draw in the details. It's like for a paint job. It's like if it is a color spotted everywhere, and give me an A plus or a B, like whatever grade you want to give me. It's like if it is a color for it. To match, it's like for the perfect right, but other than that, and then of course is go ahead and add a little bit of blue. It's like the blue detail, the blue detail for the perfect equilibrium, for the color berry, for the color berry. It's like there's a color for it in the right, and there you know what's right for every color. For every color is to experiment for what you can do, but experiment with what you can do, and we all know it's like that. And there's a day for it all. There's a day for it's like to experiment with the color. It's like for the star. It's like to know about. It's like what you could say the country star 17 is knowing about for each location is no. It's like left or right is no. It's like for the idea that gets you from what you want to do. For what you want to do, for whatever that comes to your mind. Anyway, I remember that I would sing sometimes while I was working on something or maybe listen to music. But on the other hand, too, that knowing about is that I have really never really thought of any type of interesting song. I thought about, but other than that, is knowing about with me. Have I always been the perfect speller? Of course, no, I haven't. But on the other hand, too, that knowing about it's like for the color. It's like the color is for everywhere. See for every. For cover for the everywhere. It's knowing about, it's like really if I would be maybe singing it in Spanish or French or whatever, but other than that is knowing about, it's like with the star, it's like knowing about, you know, like how we draw a star, and in a lot of ways you probably think about what you think that a star would look like maybe in 3D. Is that go ahead and draw, it's like the colors, and then of course go ahead and draw like a little triangle type shape right here, and then go ahead and another triangle shape, and then from there, and then of course it's like, you know, add like little dotted features right here, and you know, not to smear all over the place, but just, you know, add some dotted features right there. Kind of looks like a flower in some way, but go ahead and add a little bit of color right here for the center. Right there is like what you call, is for, you know, 3D star. And most of us probably think about it, it's like, yeah, is that really just take us like it? There's the colors for it everywhere. You know, just you know, the type of 3D glasses, you know, just to make it look like if it was really, it's like what you call crazy. But other than that, it's talking about, it's like what you call it, it's like, you know, for the colors for the everywhere, and along with this, it's like for the country star, knowing about, it's like, yeah, it's like knowing about really between pointing a flashlight at the star, it's like really, is that to make it look crazy? But other than that, knowing about, it's like for knowing, it's like for perfect spelling, knowing for you know, for the color berry, knowing is for the cars and tractor tip coloring is a no. It's like for the country star 17 color.